If you ruled the world, what would you do?
Lots of kids my age carry a knife, and I think it's ridiculous. If I was leader, I would finish it right now.
Reckon you've got what it takes to be a leader?
I'd make more people have access to clean, safe drinking water.
I would make sure every child had a bicycle.
I would set up theatre groups and dance classes.
Then Election is the show for you. From masses of children who applied, 10 candidates have been selected for the Election campaign trail. Over the next few weeks, they'll be battling it out to prove themselves the best leader.
Children have minds, and adults have to stop taking control all of the time.
And win a meeting with the Prime Minister. Series judge Jonathan Dimbleby is one of the most experienced interviewers in the world. He's grilled some of the greatest leaders, including British Prime Ministers Margaret Thatcher, Tony Blair and Gordon Brown. And he's an extremely tough man to please. He'll be testing our candidates to the max, and each week, one of them will be sent home.
Your campaign's over.
Our final 10 candidates are about to arrive here at the Election Leadership House. This £1 million pad will be their posh new home. I can't wait. First up is Ben, who was in the middle of a tennis match when I gave him the good news.
Oh, Ben, my main man! Oh my God.
Next is Izzy from North Yorkshire.
Congratulations, you have been selected for the Election Leadership House. Oh wow, thank you.
14-year-old Quincy was stunned when he got through. Bethan's come all the way from Wales. And so has rugby-playing Tudor. Reen's from Manchester. And there were huge celebrations in St Albans when Jack got through.
You have been selected for the Election Leadership House.
Next, it's Hazel, who was lost for words.
Slightly shocked there. Wow, that's so cool.
And finally, there's Amadeep from Staffordshire and Hannah from Eastbourne. And first thing to do is check out their new London leadership pad.
Is it nice, Quincy?
Yes, blue.
This is my bed.
They might want to rule the world, but some have never stayed away from home before. But this isn't just about having fun. From now on, their political skills will be tested to the max. Today, the campaigns begin for our budding 10 young leaders. But by tomorrow, only 9 will survive. One candidate will be eliminated and have to head home. But no one wants to be first out. Welcome to the Election House. Congratulations, you are the final 10. How do you feel?
I'm bursting of anticipation.
I can see you, Ben. Amadeep, what is with the shades?
Just in case I don't get into the final, I thought I might as well just dress smart now.
You're looking good, babe. Well, it's good to see you all. You know that this is going to be hard work, don't you? Yeah. It's getting serious.
Let's go!
And hard work's what it will take to get to the final, where the 2 best candidates will battle it out in a kids' election held at the Houses of Parliament. Each week, they'll be split into teams for a test of skills, set by guest leaders who are all specialists in their fields. The winning team will then have an advantage in the decisive leadership challenge, where they'll use all the skills they've learnt.
In this programme, I'll be testing them on first impressions. Things to remember, first impressions really matter. You don't get a second chance. You have to make yourself noticed. You can't afford to be shy. Any good leader needs to know that.
Could you sell yourself in 30 seconds? Our candidates are about to find out if they can. To celebrity guest Michelle Dewberry, the first woman ever to win The Apprentice. To do this, they'll compete in teams, boys versus girls.
So what we're going to do
is each of you is going to have 30 seconds and you're going to pitch yourselves to me. You're going to tell me what your USP is, your unique selling points. What is it about you that makes you better than him, that makes you better than her?
With the clock ticking, they'll have to sell themselves as the most confident and impressive team.
So, we're going to start with the boys. Who's going to go first?
Yep. 30 seconds, start. Now.
My name is Quincy, and I think that all leaders should show confidence when they're speaking.
Hello, Michelle. I'm Amadee, and ambitious I am.
I think my unique selling point is that I encourage people.
I'm in a dance troupe, and I help the less able dancers to just get confidence in themselves.
I try my best to fulfil my hopes, and I always bring others into things.
I reckon... Can I start again?
Yeah, it's fine.
I think my selling point is that I can...
Your time's up then. Thank you. Well done.
It was all going so well for the boys until Ben took the stand. Now, can the girls do any better?
Your time starts now.
It's about taking on board what other people are saying and using it in whatever task you are doing.
I'm not afraid of my beliefs, and I think I can lead a group of people without being too overpowering or bossy. I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong, and I don't mind if other people don't like my ideas. I think what makes me different is I'm very compassionate towards all people, and I'm always aware of people's needs and fulfillments. I like to concentrate on the task at hand, and I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong to make my idea better. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. But you've still got another 10 seconds. Your time stops now. You'll be pleased to know your first test of skills is now over.
So, congratulations, everyone. I know that it's quite tough to stand up in front of a group of people, and you all did really well for your first attempt. Ben, you, my friend, reminded me of me. The first time I ever stood up to speak to an audience, I hated it. What I'd say to you is, you lost it for the first 5 seconds. That's not a problem, it was your first time, but you still had 25 seconds left to do something with it. So if something goes wrong, and not just for Ben, for any one of you, if you're doing something and it starts off bad, it doesn't matter. You know, just keep your confidence. No matter what happens, you can always turn it around as long as you believe in yourself right until the end. So I do have to choose a winning team, and it is difficult because you all, you know, you did put your energy in, and I respect you all for that. However, the winning team is... the boys team.
Despite Ben's nerves, the boys have triumphed in the first test of skills and will have an advantage in the leadership challenge. Each week, the kids face a daunting leadership challenge. They've already tried selling themselves. Now they've got to sell an idea by holding a launch party.
But I think I need to give you a cause. Something you can get your teeth into, something you can believe, something you can sell. Is this?
I stepped in one of those.
The UK's 7 million dogs produce 1,000 tonnes of poo every day, the size of 50 aeroplanes. So the boys need to get dog owners scooping that poop.
Girls, your cause is some chewing gum.
2/3 of our streets are littered with blobs of gum, which costs £150 million a year to clean up. So the girls are going to get that sorted.
But you need some team leaders in your groups. For the girls, Izzy, you'll be the team leader, okay? Yeah. Right? And for the boys, it's going to be Amadee. Okay? So, you've got a lot of responsibility on your shoulders as team leaders. And you do realise that after the leadership challenge tomorrow, there'll be a winning team, and there'll also be someone who'll be eliminated and going home. So you really need to think about what you do and how you work together.
They'll have to launch their campaigns and sell their ideas to a panel of experts.
Anything you guys think you should do.
Amadee and Izzy first have to decide who does what.
As the leader, I've got to designate roles in the group. I don't want you guys telling me what you'd rather do or not.
Okay, Judy, you're in charge of strategy.
I want to help out to do the strategy.
It says only one can do each one. Only one.
I really want to do the strategy.
I think you'd be quite good at props, though.
Amadik's struggling to control his team.
I've been selected to be a leader as one of the tasks, and I'm finding that pretty hard.
Definitely. What, you bring the speech?
But you know, because there's I'm the leader, so I watch all of them. And that are like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, how about we do this, how about we do that? And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine, we can do this, we can do that. But we need to think rationally, and we need to think about what we need to do to win.
Wait. So we're going to write our overall list once you wrote your strategy, refreshments, props, and...
To be honest, Armadif, we didn't think was doing such a good job because we were putting ideas forward, but they were just going in through one ear and out the other.
Back in the girls' camp, they're on a roll with their chewing gum clean-up campaign.
The party bag, and then we could like put up little scrunched pieces of pink paper to like represent chewing gum.
I think we really can pull this off. We're a very good team. We've all got each other's backs, and we're very good with each other's strong points.
Still doing the whole poo bag,
and then at the end,
give them out.
But the dog poo campaign could end up a big sticky mess if the boys don't start agreeing. And Ben's worried his neck's on the line.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up myself on this main task tomorrow afternoon, try and make myself stand out from the rest, but it's a team effort, so we've got to all work as a team and do it.
Make it feel that people just think, wow, because they've got to enjoy it and they've got to be surprised.
We've got to brainstorm ideas,
I just don't want to go out tomorrow because it would be a big shame, so if I could just stay in for a little bit longer, so I really want our team to be immune for the voting.
Morning of the Leadership Challenge. Normally you'd have several weeks to prepare and thousands of pounds to launch a campaign. These kids have just a few hours and 80 quid. But for winning the test of skills, the boys get £20 extra.
Your money!
Yep, thanks.
Okay, so your money's in there. You know where you're going?
Yes.
Got money?
So we've got £100 in cash.
£100 in cash. Brilliant. Get to the shops. I'll catch up with you in a bit. See you later. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye.
The teens can visit only 2 shops and just have an hour. This is their one chance to get all the essential items for their campaigns. And they need to spend their money wisely.
We have a megaphone.
Not sure how looking cool is going to help with the dog poo campaign.
Oh, nah, they're not bent on those.
Okay, shall we just get like loads of yellow?
Time's nearly up. No time for dithering.
Girls, shopping, nightmare.
Oh my gosh.
Shopping's done, and it's off to the launch party venue. But Tudor's decided he still needs more props.
Here goes. I'm going to go in there and ask if I can borrow a glass and bring it back. Right, here goes.
He wants some pub glasses to put flowers in as a decoration.
It's like a press conference, and we're wondering if we could borrow a glass.
I'll get on there.
Then bring it back later for our couple. Thank you very much. And one more. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye.
Thank you.
The teens were told to only go to 2 shops. Will Tudor going to a third land the boys in the poo?
Right, we're at the launch party venue. Inside, both teams have just an hour and a half to prepare before the VIP guests arrive.
Each team's got an empty room, and it's up to them to create launches that are as visual as possible, using the things they've bought.
How's it going? Well? Keep blowing, baby, keep blowing.
The rivalry's hotting up as each team's trying to outdo the other.
Making posters, but they're in the shape of gum, and some of them will go on the floor, some of them will go on the wall, just to make people realise how annoying it is stepping on pieces of gum. So, and that's our logo, gum for the garbage.
But the boys think they've got an ace up their sleeves and have managed to blag a real dog.
too much on the dog, and then they'll just be like, you know, everything will be about the dog, and then they'll forget that it's meant to actually be like a party or whatever.
But the dog is nothing really to do with it. I mean, what are they going to do? Like, make it poo?
Yeah, they're going to make it poo and clean it up. That is
disgusting.
Series judge, political journalist Jonathan Dimbleby is on his way. This is the man they all have to impress to avoid being sent home. He's arrived just in time for a sneak preview of both teams' progress.
Should we do the lead quiz or not?
Every detail will be considered.
One potentially pooping dog.
Just so you know, everyone, you've got 15 minutes. 15 minutes, guys!
With the final deadline in sight, it's all hands on deck to get things finished.
Guys, this is my chewing gum. Yeah, good.
Done. Okay, this is John. I'm really nervous now.
The VIP guests are all experienced in selling causes, some to millions of people, and amongst them are several professional politicians.
Good to meet you. Hi, woof woof.
Ben's keen to make a good first impression as he heads the welcome to the boys' campaign.
First talking dog I've ever met.
The boys are trying to create the perfect atmosphere, from background music to nibbles for all their guests.
You guys ready?
Team leader Amadeep decided that he, Quincy and Jack will lead the performance, leaving Ben and Tudor in the background.
Our policy is that we're going to give everyone a bag and we're going to try our best to get sponsors because we want to stop dog litter on the street.
It's a confident start, but their star performer, Bee the dog, seems to have taken a fancy to one of the guests.
Poop, poop, poop. It's time you use a scoop. Dogs are lovely animals, but haven't you had enough of the way their owners sometimes leave their litter all over the place? Dogs can't help that they litter in the world, but it's rude, it's revolting, and it's ruining our environment. Scoop that. Please do not be part of the 60% of
60% of dog owners, which is around 4.6 million adults that ignore their dog's mess.
Thank you, but please remember, don't just be a dog owner, be a dog carer.
Scoop that poo! Scoop that poo! Scoop that poo!
Now there's 10 minutes for some one-to-one selling of anything they didn't get across.
We're going to make sure that they do use the bag.
If you leave it there, it's just going to spread diseases. People need to know that it's wrong.
The presentation was good, it was great. You know, they always say never work with dogs or children. I love the way the dog went AWOL in the beginning. But two of the boys didn't say anything, and they looked like they were really gearing up to say something. And I just think, you know, it's a shame really, because they all should have just had something to say, and it was just a line.
You've not thought about maybe bringing in a law whereby if you are a dog owner and your dog does a poo on the pavement and you fail to pick it up, you pay a fine, for example?
Well, they're already...
Sorry?
We're thinking of fines.
You're thinking of
There are
it.
already fines in some places, but...
I didn't get the impression that they thought through the implications of what they were trying to do. It's all about raising awareness, giving away free bags, but they've not thought through potential sanctions, maybe fining dog owners who were breaking the law.
Constituents, that is absolute perfect timing from the boys because
Now it's the girls' turn to sell their campaign.
Please raise your hand if you chew gum. Now keep your hand raised if you throw your gum on the floor. Now, there's got to be some of you fibbing because there's over 300,000 blobs of chewing gum found on Oxford Street alone. This vile, squishy, preposterous piece of salivated mess. Chewing gum.
Hey guys, haven't you heard about Gum for Garbage?
Whatever! Free Greece. Green is a follower of our campaign.
Guys, didn't you know it took us 150 million just to clean the streets from gum? Really?
Greece. The 3 hooligans are now putting their gum in the trash can. Green has succeeded in her campaign.
Gum for garbage, gum for garbage, gum for garbage.
I think it should be a priority because it costs £150 million to clean up every year, and really we could be using that money to help people stop drinking and smoking and taking drugs.
And I always say to people, why don't you pick that up? But no one ever listens to me, so I'm just one person. But maybe if there was a group of people saying, why don't you pick that up, then they'll have peer pressure to actually pick something up.
Well, I think if that's future politicians in there, then I feel really pleased.
Yeah, I just thought the enthusiasm and the way that they all worked together was very good.
Time's up. The teams have sold their campaigns and each candidate has had their chance to shine. The panel now has to decide the winning team. And for the losers, it means one of them will be the first to leave the leadership house.
We're asking you to vote with balloons. So if you thought the girls' campaign, Gum for Garbage, was the best, please hold up a green balloon. If you thought the boys' campaign, Poop the Scoop, was better, please hold up a purple balloon.
Oh. 1, 2, 3.
So the girls have won the first leadership challenge and they're off for a well-deserved reward. While the boys head back to the leadership house to face Jonathan Dimbleby.
Oh, boys, you must have been a bit disappointed. 6 to 1 against. What was the missing ingredient? What went wrong?
I think the way we all worked together as a team wasn't as good as it could have been, and that affected the whole thing. Plus, we're all used to being independent leaders as well.
And you found it difficult as leader to make them follow, in the end, your lead?
Certain people, when you tried to, they just wouldn't let you. They were worried that if they didn't do a bit more, they would be eliminated.
Who were the certain people? Tudor, were you one of them?
I really don't know, because I don't know Amedee's point of view on me in that respect, so I really couldn't say.
Did anyone else think they weren't pulling their weight? Weren't operating as a team?
No, I don't think we were operating as a team as well as we could have, like Amedeep said, because I think we were still getting to know how other people worked.
We were more as individuals and we didn't really gel together and come as a team.
No.
So that's one of the problems.
Whose idea was it to have the little black dog on the set?
It was my idea.
Good idea?
I think it was.
But you blew it, didn't you? Because the start of the presentation was ruined by you rushing around under the feet of the panel trying to get the dog to come onto your stage.
She got distracted.
Did you think about that might happen?
No, because she was good in rehearsal.
Who was it who, knowing that you could go to 2 shops, actually went to 3?
That would have been me. I was taking a risk for the team that hopefully would have paid off, and yeah, I was taking the risk and I think it paid off because the glasses we got from the pub were quite, I feel, added to the presentation quite a lot.
Ben, you were very quiet during the presentation. I don't think I heard you open your mouth.
Yeah, I was just doing to what I was told, and that was refreshments.
Did you mind that?
Well, the team leader decided it, and what he says goes.
Amedeep, why didn't you give him a bigger role?
Because first, before we had our team meeting, I thought, well, who's going to be able to deliver the performance and make it effective as possible. And I thought, Jack's loud, he's witty, he's entertaining in a way.
Tudor? Jack? Quincy? You're safe. You can leave the room. I want you two to stay. Ben, Amadeep, I've got to choose which of you is to stay and which is to go. Ben, I think you've got lots of qualities, and I've seen some of those qualities, and I've no reason to suppose that leadership isn't going to be one of them. But in truth, you failed to show leadership at exactly the moment when it has to be shown, and often, if you don't show it at the right time, it's over. You said, Amadeep, that it wasn't a very coherent team. I don't think you demonstrated the qualities of leadership that would, at the moment, get you to the end. As I said, it's a difficult decision. But I'm going to have to say, Ben, your campaign's over. Now you can both go.
I thought that the only thing that stopped me was the fact that I wasn't bonding with them enough. We're all the same age and we've got all the same skills. And I was really upset that Ben went, of all people, as well.
In the end, poor Ben is a terrific guy and will do great things. He just clearly was not there on the day.
He thought it had qualities, but I never proved it to him. He only heard it and he only thought it, but that wasn't enough, so I just want another chance. But it's an experience.
Well, you've learnt so much and you've been fantastic.
Thank you.
Ben's the very first candidate to leave the leadership house. Next week, the remaining 9 candidates have to run a market stall in London's Oxford Street.
Can I buy some fruit? I'll just keep trying.
And persuade adults to dance the hula and haka whilst at work.
Steps to the right, 2 steps to the left.
And one member of the losing team will be sent home.
Your campaign's over.